All right, we're back. Hope everyone is at least some of y'all coming back. We were supposed to have a short show, and we would have been done by now. But I had some issue. This is the first time I've seen this issue with StreamYard where they said something's going on with YouTube. I checked my internet connection speed. It was fine for upload speed. It was actually really, really good. So I don't know if it was YouTube. It may just be StreamYard. StreamYard, real quick. I got to say this. Been tripping lately. I apologize for the inconvenience that this has caused anyone. Okay, let's get right back on into this. So we were covering this video where there's a woman in the UK who calls Umar out, and her son in particular talks to her before she goes to Umar Johnson event, and basically it tells the truth about Umar, that he's a hypocrite. And I've shown a little bit of it in the previous. Make sure you watch part 2 if you're watching this later. Watch part 1 first. This is part 2. All right. And I made a correction with the thumbnail too, so that people, hopefully they can realize that there's 2 parts to this. I want to get right back into this. I'm going to actually do 2 things. I'm going to go and we're going to play the video where the woman confronts Umar, and we'll go through the whole thing. I'm going to give you guys my analysis step by step. Okay, I'll play the whole thing straight through, and I'll do that. I'm just going to play the whole thing straight through. Then I'm going to give my analysis, and then I'm going to give you some examples of Umar and how he sexually exploits Black women. And in particular, I'm going to give you some examples of Umar using his phone to take video of Black women's body parts. I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples of that. Okay, I'll have receipts on everything. All right, so let's pull this up first. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Came to Britain to build up this country, okay? I've heard everything you had to say this evening. Now, on top of all of that, all of us are sitting here, we have all got children ourselves. You targeted one thing for me this evening is, the speech that you're making this evening is well and good doing it to us, but it's the children after us that need to be hearing this. Because I'm going to be dying, and my next generation is my children and everybody else's children in this room, who at the end of the day is not hearing this preaching.
We need to teach them.
Now, I'm going to say one thing to you, yeah? I told my son, my youngest, he's 27 years old, he was raised appropriately, he works, he has a profession, okay?
Oh.
I told him, I'm coming to Birmingham to see you. He said, oh, I said I'm going to see Umar Johnson. He went, no, Mum, you're going to see Dr. Umar. And I said that was great. Then I told him how I watched you the other day on WhatsApp about your honey bunnies, no white bunny, chocolate bunny, which color bunny, and you was promoting all our Black sisters. You know what my son said to me? He said, Mum, I understand all that. But and I'm just going to quote what my 27-year-old said to me, who actually knows about you. Well, I don't know what he knows, but what he said was, Mum, why is it, if he's talking about representing the Black sisters, and the Black sisters, our brothers need to know who we are, and be dating the Black sisters in the community, or go and find them in every other race. He said, why is it that Dr. Umar has 3, please let me just say this, right? Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers? And if they're all Black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen, and showed the Black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife? That's what my son said to me.
That's calm. I got a question. When did I get a 3rd baby mom and a 3rd baby?
I don't know.
When did I get a 3rd baby mom and a 3rd baby?
Can I just say, I did say to my son,
Stop putting babies on me. Look.
no, but listen, Dr. Umar, I did say to my son, when you are in the media, people will find a way to discredit you. So please don't listen to everything that you hear. But sometimes there's no smoke without fire. So I had to just say to him, I do not know about what you're talking about, and what he hears, he does not know it's a guaranteed fact neither. But I was just about to bring that to you. Okay? Thank you.
And it's a good question.
Right.
And my answer would simply be that my oldest daughter is 22 years old. There's no need to marry her mother, and there's reasons why I didn't marry her mother. And my 13-year-old princess is the only juvenile child that I have. My oldest is grown now. So it's really only one whose mother I would need to marry. And I'm not going to go into why. Just know that my mission dictates that whoever I marry can be a support to my work. I can't. They gotta be a support to me. And I'm going to get married because I can't have a school without my queens. But I'm gonna have 2 queens. Great question, my sister. Who's my number 2?
All right. And I said in the previous video, make sure y'all check out part 1 if you haven't seen part 1. We had some digital. We had some difficulties with the stream connection to YouTube. And I break all this down. I provide a preface to all of this. Now what I want to do is I want to give my analysis of this short interaction. There's a lot of things that we can actually discern here. I want Black women to understand that Umar does not care about you. He's not interested in developing a relationship with you. He's not interested in marrying not one of you. What he's interested in is 2 things. Number 1, he wants to exploit you financially. That's where the whole FDMG school scam comes in. And get on your CashApp, get on your PayPal. I'm gonna save your Black boys. I'm gonna open up a school. He conceptualized this in 2005. In 2010, he said the school's gonna open in 2013. In 2014, he started raising funds for the St. Paul's College school scam. In 2000. And then he says it's going to open. It doesn't open. He says it's going to open in 2015. Then he changes it to 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And now he's changed it to 2025. He purchased these abandoned buildings in Wilmington, Delaware in 2019. It's been 5 years and 9 months since that time. And not one Black boy has been educated. He still continues to ask for money. And why does he do it? Because he wants to exploit you financially. That's number 1. But number 2, and hear me on this. He does not care about you, Black women. He does not love you. He don't even like you, Black women. I'm going to give you some examples of that. He wants to, number 2, sexually exploit you. He wants to, as he says, crush your cookies. Cookies being a euphemism for vagina. You know, I've always wondered how it is possible that someone can speak about sex so much as Umar does, and then he flips right back into talking about children right afterwards. The transition is like that. And then he'll flip back into talking about sex. And then he'll flip back to talking about children. That's disturbing to me. But you women understand that his goal is to exploit you financially and to exploit you sexually. It's really that simple. It's heinous, but it's really that simple. Okay. Now, I'm going to give my analysis of this right now. Real quick, there was super chats. Wait, so was his daughter 22 years old when she was born? Exactly. This is Umar trying to find a loophole. I'm going to break this down. See, Umar's crafty. Okay. He will yell to get the audience on his side, but he doesn't actually address the issue. See, he diverts away from the issue. He doesn't answer the question directly. And really, this should have been a long discussion that Umar could have had as to why it is that he is not married at the age of 50. He has 2 baby mamas. He's created 2 baby mamas. He abandoned, no commitment, no relationship. He doesn't pay child support. Okay, the baby mamas had to put him on child support, and they called him in over and over and over again for child support. He has 3 child support cases, 2 for the baby mamas, 1 from the state of Pennsylvania trying to get wage garnishments, but they were trying to find out where he was employed. He hasn't been employed for 14 years. He did that purposely so that they cannot garnish his checks to pay for the child support. That's how that's how much of a deceiver Umar Johnson is. How irresponsible he is, how he cares not for his children. He's not even an active participant in this. He's a deadbeat. He's not an active participant in his daughter's lives. I can pull up the video where he explains how he had just found out what his daughter's middle name was. One of his daughter's middle name was. This was in 2018. That's crazy. But see, the way that Umar, he's very crafty. My oldest daughter, you know, she's 22 now, but that's not what the issue is. The issue is, why did you, when all of this talk about Black men need to commit and marry Black women, why did you not marry at least one of your baby mamas? That's the question. And it's a legitimate question. And you want 2 wives too? Someone can ask Iceman Vamp, why aren't you married now with all the women? So you sexually exploiting these women Suki Hana, women all up on you. You all up on them. You taking video of their body parts. I'm gonna get into that right now. We're gonna get into that too. You're gonna do all this, but see, that's because he wants to sexually exploit, which includes taking his camera like this and video recording, following you around like a pervert and recording your body parts. And that also includes little girls. He's done that with little girls. I'm going to say it again. He's done that with little girls. I can't play it. But when he had the college tours for with these young people, he would follow the little girls with his camera and put it on their backside while he's following them around. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Okay. Thankful soup chat, Iceman Vamp. Lewis Luck says she should have said before her monologue, boy, you done slid down a razor blade and fell into an alcohol river. A river of alcohol. Yeah. And I want to commend the woman because it takes courage. You see, Umar doesn't want her to speak out about this issue. I'm sure that there's people that were there that did not want to hear that either. And then again, the Hotep brother walks up and all up on her like that. See, no. See, I'm sure, and I don't want to speak poorly of the brother, but I'm gonna say this same brother with the Hotep and the Ankh and the Kufi, you will allow Umar to get up there and talk sex talk about black women and talk about crushing cookies and pina colada cookies and hot fudge cookies and pistachio. Those are skin colors. Cookies is a euphemism for vagina. You'll let him get up there and talk like that. But as soon as someone talks Umar with a legitimate question about his own hypocrisy, you try to bum rush the microphone and get her off so that she can't speak. You want to silence the woman who's getting up there. So shout out to the woman who got up there and spoke her speech, as it were. And for the dude that was up there, the older gentleman with the kufi on with the ankh, you ain't shit. In fact, if you see this video and you want to come on and defend yourself, we can set that up too. I'm gonna tell, and I will say it to your face if you come on here, you ain't shit. You're part of the problem because you enable people like Umar to do this type of shit and exploit black women financially and sexually. All right. Thanks for the super chat, Lewis Luck. Now, let me give you guys my analysis of this step by step. Here we go. This was over in the UK.
Parents that came to Britain to build up this country, okay? I've heard everything you had to say this evening. Now, on top of all of that, all of us are sitting here, we have all got children ourselves. You targeted one thing for me this evening is the speech that you're making this evening is well and good doing it to us, but it's the children after us that need to be hearing this, because I'm going to be dying and my next generation is my children and everybody else's children in this room, who at the end of the day is not hearing this preaching.
We need to teach them.
Now, I'm going to say one thing to you, yeah? I told my son, my youngest, he's 27 years old, he was raised appropriately, he works, he has a profession, okay?
Oh.
I told him, I'm coming to Birmingham to see you.
By the way, she said her son is 27. She must have had children really young because I mean, I no disrespect to her husband and no disrespect to my wife. I'm just saying. That's number one. I know it shouldn't matter, but I just got to give a shout out because I wish, when I wish I was, anyway, especially, okay. I'm getting older. I start noticing that kind of stuff, even myself. But the other thing is that her son, and she said that's her youngest son, right? Yeah, 20. That's incredible. They say black don't crack. Anyway, 27. He has a job. He has a career. Umar doesn't have a job. He does not have a career. Her son is 27 and is more accomplished in life than Umar is at this point. I want y'all just to think about that for a moment. Her 27-year-old son has a job and has a career. Umar does not have a job and he does not have a career. Now, he will deceive you, Umar Johnson followers, you cult followers, and tell you that he's a school psychologist. He's not. He will say that he's a therapist. He's not. He can't even practice alone. He doesn't have a license, and he never has had a license. Did you guys know that about Umar? He never had a license to practice. He has to be working under the supervision of someone who is licensed, or he has to work within the school district, but he doesn't work in the school district, and he hasn't for 14 years now. Roughly 14 years. I always try to be fair with the timeline. Umar is not a school psychologist. He's not a therapist. He can't practice alone. He can't set up a practice. Anyone ever wonder why Umar doesn't have an office? The last time he had a pseudo office, Tariq Nasheed was Hidden Colors 2, I believe, and when they went to go interview Umar, it was like a storage unit with trash all over the place, and everything was disheveled. Like when he flipped the phone and showed his living conditions, he was living in filth like a hoarder. So he would deceive you, Umar Johnson followers, and say that all this, and I got 6 degrees. Okay, so what? What are you doing? I mean, ultimately, if you look at it, it's all non-functional because he's reduced himself to a homeless beggar. He's literally homeless. When he can't stay with his mother, he will stay with his mother, who's on Section 8 housing. And you people over in the UK, you can look up what Section 8 housing means here in the United States of America. The point being is that her son has a job, Umar does not. Her son has a career, Umar does not. Okay. Dominique, what's up, man? Says Umar said he has never bought child's clothes before when asking about what should be in FDMG paraphernalia bags. I remember this shit. I'm sorry. It just annoys me. Whenever I talk about Umar and his exploitation of women, you guys see, I get real, I apologize. I just don't like it at all. It really gets me upset. Not upset in a mad way, but I just don't like it. So I apologize. Umar said he has never bought child's clothes before when asking about what should be in the FDMG paraphernalia bag. Wasn't this for the, I believe this was for the first block party. It might have been the second, but I think this was for the first block party. Yet you have 2 daughters. Something is wrong here. Anybody remember this? Dominique, matter of fact, if you know which video that is, can you email me a link to that? I'm going to run into it anyway, but if you can email a link to me, that'll help me with my research. But I'm going to run through it at some point. It's just I'm getting out of 2017, going in 2018 now in my research with Umar, specifically dealing with the older videos. But this is a statement of fact. I actually remember when this happened, and it just goes to show you Umar hasn't even bought clothes for his babies, for his daughters. He don't know nothing about that. Taking them to school, driving them to school, dropping them off, picking them up, going to meet with a counselor, going to meet with whatever. It's for the school, the parent, what they call parent-teacher conference. They didn't have that when we was kids. They had something. It was like school night or something, and you just walked through whatever. My mom was too busy. She didn't go to that shit. Anyway, but they have parent-teacher conferences now. Anyway, Umar doesn't know about any of that stuff. And this right here was very telling. I remember that. Anybody else hit the 1? Okay. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the reminder. Again, if you have a link to that, let me know. I appreciate it. Thanks, Dominique. And then Lewis says his behavior isn't a shock. He looks up to Ron Karenga and Dwight York. Okay. I don't know about if he looks up to Ron Karenga, and you're talking about Maulana Karenga. I actually met Maulana Karenga because he's down in Southern California. He has a whole history exploiting Black women and torturing Black women too. I mean, it's crazy. It really is. He has a harem. Okay. He, in fact, one of the organizations, I think it was the US organization. I think it was called the US organization, but they had spinoffs, and one of those spinoffs actually worked with someone who was part of the US organization, and they had a community organization in San Diego. And they set up a community center. I used to work at the community center working with these children. It was in the hood. So I'm very well. I've actually met Maulana Karenga. I've been to several of his lectures. I actually went to an event that he had at his spot in Los Angeles, but he's actually he's at, I think it's Cal State Long Beach. Yeah, I think he's ahead of the African American states, but he has a criminal record and all that. Okay. So now I do know about Dwight York. I haven't heard him shout out Ron Karenga, but I have heard him shout out Dwight York. And if you guys don't know about him, you can look him up too. Very troubling. And we both know their backgrounds around women. Karenga was also an informant. Yeah, Karenga was also an informant. This is true. Okay. And people, you can go look this up. You can look up Ron Karenga or Maulana Karenga and start getting into the history. You can look up Dwight York. Okay, that's out. He was out of New York. And that was crazy. Umar shouted out Dwight York twice, and I have the receipts. It had been a documentary. Thanks to a slut for a super chat. Okay, what's up, X Freeman? Yeah, we got blowed off earlier, but things happen. It is what it is. So let's get back to this, okay?
He said, oh, I said I'm going to see Umar Johnson. He went, no, Mum, you're going to see Dr. Umar. And I said that was great. Then I told him how I watched you the other day on WhatsApp about your honey bunnies, no white bunny, chocolate bunny, which color bunny, and you was promoting all our black sisters. Do you know what my son said to me? He said, Mum, I understand all that. But and I'm just going to quote what my 27-year-old said to me, who actually knows about you. Well, I don't know what he knows, but what he said was, Mum, why is it if he's talking about representing the black sisters and the black sisters, man, our brothers need to know who we are and be dating the black sisters in the community or go and find them in every other race. He said, why is it that Dr. Umar has free, please let me just say this, right? Why?
See how they're trying to stop her from talking? And that's not Umar. I think it's that Hotep dude doing that.
Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers? And if they're all black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife. That's what my son said to me.
Okay. And that's legitimate. So it's a legitimate question. Now, for the record, Umar has at least 2 baby mamas. My records show 2. He may have more, but she said 3. I go with 2 because that's what I have receipts on. But it's irrelevant. Because the real issue is the fact that Umar has these baby mamas, but he never married these baby mamas. He has these stories that he's concocted in his mind where he says they wanted him to marry them, but he didn't want to back in the day or whatever. Umar is a habitual liar. He's a great deceiver. You can't take him at his word for anything. Never do that with Umar. See, Umar has, he can't even see one of the children alone. It's called, here in the United States of America, if you're over in the UK, it's called he has supervised visitations. You can look it up. Here in the United States of America, it may be the same in the UK, but it may call it something else. In other words, Umar can't even be with his own daughter by himself. And there's specific reasons in the state of Philadelphia. We did the research on this back in the day. There's specific reasons as to why the court would order supervised visitation for a parent. It could be for a mother or for a father, for that matter. It can also be a situation where the custody is given to the grandparents and then supervised visitation is provided to the actual biological parents of the child. You guys understand what I'm saying? There's specific reasons. One is that there's a domestic violence situation that's taking place, that Umar is a threat to one of these baby mamas. Another one is that Umar is a threat to the child. So Umar actually talked about this and how he was upset, the ego, the narcissism, because he had to go to the baby's grandmama's and sit on the baby's grandmama's couch, and he didn't like that. See, but it's court ordered supervised visitation. That's telling in and of itself. See? So, but he'll create this whole story and this false narrative about how they wanted to marry. They wanted him to marry, or that he didn't want to, whatever. No, Umar, what he is he's here in the United States of America. He's what you call a deadbeat. He's a baby mama creator, and he will impregnate black women, but he won't commit to them, or he'll have sex with them, and in some cases impregnate them, but he will have sex with them with no commitment, no marriage, none of that. And he's been doing that for decades now, at least 2 decades.
And made them his absolute queen and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife. That's what my son said to me.
That's powerful. I got a question.
See, now Umar, he answers the question with the question. Okay, that's diversionary in the first place, but he focuses on that she said 3 baby mamas, where in fact, based on my records, and he may have 3, but based on my research, he has 2. That's what he focuses on. That's the loophole that he uses.
When did I get a 3rd baby mama and a 3rd baby? When did I get a 3rd baby mama and a 3rd?
See him yelling? This is what Umar does, and he does this to get the audience on his side. Okay, do not take yelling and being belligerent in this lack of self-control. Do not accept this as being confidence. or the truth, because that's what Umar does to manipulate you followers. He'll state things in such a way to where it appears as if he has confidence in what he's saying, even overconfidence, and so it's more believable. By the way, those shoes that he has on, what kind of shoes are those? If anyone in the chat room knows, go ahead and type inside the chat room. I know some people may say it doesn't matter, but it does matter. I'm going to prove a point in just a moment. Here we go.
When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby?
Yep.
When did I get a third baby mom and a third baby?
Can I just say, I did say to my son.
Yeah. Yeah. And what does Umar say about this? What does he tell? What's up, Jay Bravo? Hope you're doing all right. What's up, last call? Yeah. Yeah, it matters. God's little princess, how you doing? Someone said they're called Airman DN. There's $180. Yeah, well, you ain't gonna catch me by it. Ain't gonna happen. The Nikes I got, they were my brother's, and he left them at my mama's house. And my mama she brought them to me. Well, this was like, I kid you not, this was about 9 years ago. I still have the shoes. That shows you how I am, but I just don't be doing. I can't. I got too many kids, and I'm just not into that. I need new clothes too, and all that. But I've had those Nikes for it's been about 9, maybe 10 years now. That is so bad. Anyway, why is this relevant? Well, it's relevant because Umar often tells Black people that you spend your money on this, and he does this when he's asking for a donation. He said, you can't give me $25. You spend $1 billion on weed. You spend $40 billion. He be just $48 trillion on Nikes. Yeah, but what are you wearing, sir? Let me take the sir back. What are you wearing, clown? See, this is the cult dynamic of this. Oftentimes, cult leaders have a different set of rules and regulations that they have to follow, compared to their cult followers. In other words, their cult members. They have a code of conduct that the cult leader creates. They have rules and regulations that the cult leader creates, but those same rules and regulations do not apply to the cult leader. And this is just another example of Umar's hypocrisy. Look. See this? These are the white mans, and it's the white, you guys supporting the white men and the white man and white supremacy. When you buy these shoes, you buy these chains. He had a gold chain, FDMG chain on last week, but he sure will sport these himself. Exactly. And that's the cult leader. Do as I say, not as I do. And that's how Umar is. That's how cult leaders are. Good point, D, that is all. Yeah, someone said he had the new iPhone. That's what somebody said. Those things are expensive. That's another thing. Anyway, here we go.
I did say to my son.
Now, and again, if Umar had a job and he was making his own money, okay. But you would think that even if he had a job and was making his own money, all the money would be going towards opening up FDMG. He doesn't raise millions of dollars, $2.7 million by now. Easy. So if he's so committed to opening up this school, then why is he wearing these types of shoes? And why does he have an FDMG gold chain? See, if he was really committed, and let's even say someone donated the shoes, because they've done that in the past too, because he needs you Black women to take care of his ass. So he will accept those gifts, including shoes. Y'all remember that? But let's say it was donated. What he should have done then therefore is to take those and go put them on eBay, sell them bad boys, and then put that money towards opening up the school if he was truly committed to opening up this school. See, but the money that he receives, so-called to open up the school, he uses on his own lifestyle, to live his lifestyle, which is actually transient. It's really, really ridiculous at the end of the day. But anyway, this just goes to show you the hypocrisy of Umar Johnson. He bashes Black people all the time about what you're wearing and spending your money on. One time he had, I think it was Louis Vuitton. Someone had sent them a Louis Vuitton or one of those expensive, I don't know what the companies are. There's another one. They sent them for a birthday gift, and he actually put it up on his Instagram page. He took a picture of it and put it up on there. Same thing with the Prada cologne. He had that too. Yeah. Anyway.
Baby's on me.
No, but listen.
Yeah, Tuesday eBay.
Dr. Umar, I did say to my son, when you are in the media, people will find a way to discredit you. So please don't listen to everything that you hear. But sometimes there's no smoke without fire. So I had to just say to him, I do not know about what you're talking about, and what he hears, he does not know it's a guaranteed fact neither. But I'll just
See him, sister. This clown right here, boy. I'm telling you, I just cannot stand it.
about to bring that to you.
Great
Okay?
point. Great point.
Thank you.
And it's a good question.
Right.
And my answer would simply be that my oldest daughter is 22 years old.
Okay, he says his oldest daughter is 22 years old, which is factual.
There's no need to marry her mother, and it's
There's no need to marry, but see, that's not the point. The point is that when the baby was born, I know she's 22, but they babies to me. When the baby was born, why didn't you marry the mother? Why weren't you in a long-standing relationship with either of these baby mamas? That's the real question, because you was out there hoeing. That's really what the issue is. See, you was out here getting these women pregnant with no commitment. You didn't want to marry them. You didn't even want to commit to them. And then you go about living your life. And then you abandon the kids. What kind of man? Boy, you Umar, you're pathetic, bro. You really are. And I don't like to shame people, but shame on you. Almost dropped another one. Anyway, you're pathetic, bro. But see, Umar tries to flip it around. This is how deceivers are. These Sauron types. They just very deceptive. Well, you know, she's 22 now, so you know, it's not shouldn't marry them. That's not even the point, clown. The point is that you did not marry either one of your baby mamas, but you want to tell black men that they need to marry black women. Can you imagine what these baby mamas had to go through? And let me apologize for you. What these women who have children with Umar, can you imagine what type of shit he's put them through? God bless them. That's all I can say.
This is why I didn't marry her mother. There's no need to marry her mother, and there's reasons why I didn't marry her mother.
Okay, and what are those reasons, Umar? See?
And my 13-year-old princess is the only.
See how he had to think about that shit? Did you guys catch that? 13, he has to think about this. Deadbeat. Did anyone else catch that? Hit the one. Yeah, Swagonito. He's a fake. That's what it comes down to. I always watch that episode. I watched it like a week ago. Oh, that's my go-to episode for Star Trek Deep Space Nine. What's it called? I think it's called In the Pale in the Pale Moonlight or something like that. One of the greatest episodes, Star Trek episodes ever. Watch this again.
13-year-old princess is the only. Why I didn't marry her mother. And my 13-year-old.
You see that? Like Brother Dion was saying earlier, Umar, when he was putting together these, I wish I had the receipt because I will pull it up right now, but he was putting together these bags for the kids. He didn't know what to put in the bag. He said, I remember that. I've never shopped for baby clothes. And then here we are. All these years later, he pauses. If you guys heard it, he had to think about, okay, how old is this girl? You don't know. He's a liar. His favorite animal is a lion. He doesn't lay down. He lies down. and constantly. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. I remember one time when he had his harem over there in Africa, those women ain't around anymore. Most of them ain't around. But he went over to Africa and he used to have these Africa trips. There's nothing more than African freak offs. That's what that shit was. Okay, let's be real about it. Saw this one video. This lady said that P. Diddy was getting fish for the freak offs, and he was bringing fish in. And I said, "What in the world? What is this world coming to? These poor fish, freak off fish. Fish fried freak offs. What in the world? It was nuts. But Umar used to take these women up over there to Africa. They're from over here, but he would take them over to Africa. And you could tell what was going on. It was an African freak off. That's all it was. But anyway, in one of them, he had a monkey on his shoulder. And he said, I'm the Lion King. Everyone started laughing. All his harem started laughing. And someone in the chat room said, yeah, you a lion. Because you be lying. You're right about that, Lewis. Look, it's true. It's true. Okay, thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I know you. Yeah, catfish, freak off, trout. Anyway, let me get off of that. I know. I'm sorry. When I heard about this, I put together this whole little comedy skit thing, but I can't do that because if I do that, if I did that on YouTube, it'd get a whole bunch of views. But a lot of people, it's just been too much. These poor fish. These poor fish. Where's Peter when you need him? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Michael Vick, he wrestled some dogs. Some dogs, he go to jail and shit because of Peter. But Puppy, he could be over here having freak off with the fish. I said, what in the world? Look, my son laughing. My son laughing. Then he went downstairs. Oh my God. Anyway, he's still laughing. Anyway, I can't put that online. I have a whole skit that I was gonna do. Okay. All right. I was gonna call it the LenonHonor show, but that's too much. These poor fish. I used to like fish too, but now I know they be having these freak offs. I used to like it back in the day. Then we used to go fishing, and we go fishing for food, not for fun. And we used to get the trout and the halibut and all this kind of stuff. And then my mama, she would fry it with the cornmeal, and then we would put hot sauce on it. It was the Louisiana hot sauce. So I used to like fish, but after I heard that, I said, you know what? Freaky ass fish. Okay, let's get back to it. That was part of the joke that I can't. Anyway, let me stop. Okay, my son, he ran downstairs. Okay, let's get back to it. Where are we? Well, I got blown off again. Here we go. I don't even know how we got on that topic anyway.
That my oldest daughter is 22 years old. There's no need to marry her mother, and there's reasons why I didn't marry her mother. And my 13-year-old princess is the only juvenile child that I have.
You have to think about that.
My oldest is grown now, so it's really only one whose mother I would need to marry, and I'm not going to go into why. Just know that my mission dictates that whoever I marry can be a support to my work.
What does he say right there? I know. He's excused. Yeah. But he what's up, Black Mario? What's up, Jay, that informant? What did he say right there?
My mission dictates that whoever I marry can be a support to my work. I can't.
Oh, I think he says to be a support to his mission. Yeah, someone said someone says it's a shame. I didn't hear that part. Let me try one more time. Let me put my other earbud in.
There's reasons why I didn't marry her mother.
There it is. I heard it.
13-year-old princess.
Yeah, you absolutely right. Good catch, because I did not catch that one.
Why I didn't marry her mother.
Yeah, it's someone either holding the camera or someone who's next to it. They say it's a shame. Yeah, they know what's up. Shout out to the UK. UK don't play.
There's no need to marry her mother, and there's reasons why I didn't marry her mother. in my
They say it right there. Y'all, if y'all don't stop. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's a shame. That's real talk right there. Y'all crazy. Yeah, see that makes me want to start doing these skits. I have so many of them. I have accumulated them for years, but I already know it'll just be way too much. I have to show it to my wife first. She said she have to sign off on it because I used to listen to Richard Pryor and Red Fox a little bit long time ago. He was way over the top, but Paul Mooney, that's my dude. He's one of my favorite. He's my favorite, but he be going too far. All right. Anyway, let's keep going here.
13-year-old princess is the only juvenile child that I have. My oldest is grown now, so it's really only one whose mother I would need to marry, and I'm not going to go into why. Just know that my mission dictates that whoever I marry can be a support to my work.
He's such a bullshitter. He really is.
I can't. They gotta be a support to the work. I can't have a school without my queens.
See, it's contradictory because he says it recently. He said he's not going to get married until he opens up the school. I think he was being interviewed. I can't remember if it was Nick Cannon or the Art of Dialogue or something like that. I remember. I think James sent that link to me. I was watching that video. It might have been Dion might have sent it to me. I can't remember. But he contradicts himself like this all the time. It's just comfortable excuses.
But I'm gonna have two queens.
See the yelling? Nah. He's a great deceiver. Again, you black women, understand that he's not interested in marrying not one of you. He's not interested in that. It's a double negative saying it that way, but it is what it is. Now, I want to, because I said some things in part one, and I want to back it up right now. I can't show you guys the video where he's recording the little girls on their body parts. There's another video where there's a little girl. It's the same little girl that he tends to target when he's recording her body parts. Okay, this is many years ago. I'm sure she's an adult now, but even from a cybersecurity perspective, it would be, even from an ethical perspective, it would be inappropriate based on my ethics to actually show that to you guys. Okay, it should not have been recorded. It should not even be online, in my opinion. Okay, you let someone do that, something like that to my daughter. Okay, I'm going to jail. Ain't gonna be no talking. Ain't gonna be no discussion. Ain't gonna be no negotiating. I'm going to jail. Y'all see it. This big head bald guy. Anyway. And whoever recorded that okay, they gonna be, well, let me stop. Let me. But Umar, that's what Umar was doing. Okay. But from a cybersecurity perspective, it should not be online in the first place. He shouldn't have recorded it in the first place because of sexual exploitation of children, in my opinion. Okay, but the other thing is that from a moral perspective, it's just something I can't put it up there. Okay, it's online. The most egregious one, I have it downloaded. It's been taken off, but I have that one too. Okay, now I want to give you guys some examples of this though, and then we're going to get into Black Anonymous's blog spot to show you guys how he does not have care for you black women. Okay, let's do this. This is the airplane video. This was from February of 2024. And if anybody remembers, I think he was overseas in, I want to say in the Caribbean somewhere. And I think he was coming back. You see how he has the camera and he's focused on a pretty young lady too, over there behind him over his shoulder. Okay, but watch what he does. He's rubbing on his leg too, by the way. Yeah.
On peut voyager direct vol de 35 minutes. Le temps est rebu, vol de simplisseur.
Yeah, okay, Martinique. Just for the record, because you guys can look this up yourself. It's actually on 60, I think it's 60 million views. You can type in 60 million views Umar, and then you can type in, if memory serves me correctly, Lust Flight 227. Yeah, that's crazy. I can remember that. I can't remember phone numbers, boy, but I can remember these anyway. Yeah, he was coming back from Martinique, or he was going there, one or the other.
welcome everyone here to morning. Welcome to the morning.
Yeah, he really does, Food Chair.
Morning is in progress, and
Yeah,
we expect
now he targets, and he mainly targets this woman back here. She's a flight attendant, and really he does. Food Chair. He actually has a name for that. He calls it a Big Papa. That's the player archetype for Umar. He has these different personalities.
3-minute timeline today to each morning. The weather is easy to something. Thank you for that.
Yeah, left flight 227. It is. Yeah, Anita, I do too. He got suspended off of Instagram for this. In my opinion, I think that he got suspended off of Instagram because that's when they wouldn't allow him to live stream for an extended period of time. It was after this video. Yep. Yep. You guys can look it up. Yeah, I agree with this, CBC. Totally. Yeah, he's sick. That was a great episode, though. That was with Captain Kirk in that episode. That was one of the greatest episodes. That's from the Twilight Zone. My children, when they watch it, they laugh. They don't find it scary or nothing. Probably plus it's in black and white, but when we was kids, boy, they used to scare the mess out of me. That gremlin. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and see, the issue is not really how beautiful. I mean, she is. She's a beautiful young lady, but Umar, he's a pervert. It's just like for him to do this, and then he live streams it. It gets worse. Watch this. How's it going away? Yeah, she did. You know he was recording. He is a clown. Yeah, he does. He does it at the airport. See him? Look at him. He's a pervert. I've been telling people. Could correct Chad, you know, even before this video, because I have other receipts where he's doing this to women. He did it at the did it to little girls. He did it at the slave dungeon. I can have it right here. I don't even know if I want to show it. It's a slave dungeon in Africa. I think it was at Amina. It may have been another one, but he does it to this woman there. He did it at the Frederick Douglass Historical House. And he's just recording this woman that she has on all white, and he just has a camera on her backside. He thinks it's funny. Okay? It's perverted, but he thinks it's funny. And he also, the viewers, is people who watch that, they be laughing and shit. It's nothing funny about it. Yeah, he's supposed to be a principal. You're right. He is. He's. I've been telling people for such a long time. That's Mario, you need to stop. Freaking fire. See him rubbing on himself? Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah, it is.
Monsieur, on va juste prendre votre sac, comme vous faites, à proximité du monsieur. Merci.
Let me skip through it. It just. Yeah, he sure did. You want your children around this guy? You gotta be right here. Yeah. Yeah. If this was my daughter over there sitting there shooting, I thought I was fine. I was fine. You black women, look at it. Call it perfect. You black women think he cares about you? And all justice. You look so justice. Sorry. It goes on and on. Rub it on his face. Rub it on his face. Report the young lady over there.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a là-bas? Tu vas avant l'heure?
Bah oui, bah moi j'ai fait partie du bénévolat.
Hey, this is 20 minutes in.
Quelque peu difficile. Quand on a actuellement les documents obligatoires avant le départ, en prévoyant un départ d'ici 2 à 3 minutes, vous pouvez les mettre attachés, serrer votre ceinture de sécurité, relever votre tablette ainsi que le dossier de votre siège. Nous vous rappelons que ce volet non fumeur vous contient electronic devices,
That's just one example. There's so many more I can show you all. How's it going, Tamara Charisse? Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I remember that too. The woman that owned the Curvy clothing store. Yeah, she had on the green. I remember his camera stayed focused on her cake. She ended up being one of the fake brides. I remember. I remember all of that. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. His expression says it all. It's not uncommon. This is what Umar, he's done it to little girls. Let me I think for Super Chat, I do that as all. This is not extraordinary for Umar. Yeah, he's a certified freaksman. He is. Okay, so you black women who thinks that he cares for you, he wouldn't be behaving like this. He wouldn't be doing this. And here's the thing. Let me say two things. Number one, it's okay if you're a heterosexual man, or even if you're bisexual. It's 2024. It's okay if you admire the woman's body. I get it. Okay, I'm a heterosexual man. I get it. Okay, but there's a line of demarcation between appreciation, where there's a level of respect, and even you can even admire. I get that too. There's a difference between that. There's a line of demarcation between that and then straight perversion. See, Umar, he's way over across the line into the perversion. Okay, it's on some sexual deviancy type of shit. That's really what it is. And it shows a lack of respect for women. But he does this all the time. The fact that he's always talking about you guys' vaginas, he calls them cookies. He's always talking about that. Interesting enough, if you guys do the older research, Umar, he was able to contain himself more. He still had this shit in him back in the day. Don't get it twisted. I think he had this shit when he was a teenager. Okay, I'm not going to say anything other than that. I'm just going to leave it right there. But understand, if you go back to earlier Umar Johnson videos, you'll see he doesn't talk like this as much. He doesn't behave like this, but see, he was able to conceal it better. Over the years, he finds it more and more difficult to contain these types of perversions within him. Polite was the same way, and you see where he's at today. Okay. Umar, he always turns the conversation into sex, whereas before he would do that sometimes, but not like he does these days. Now, see, and here's the second thing. The second thing is that it's the fact that he's live streaming it to the audience, to his Instagram page, which has millions of subscribers at this point. Think about that for a moment. The fact that he has the audacity to live stream it, and he doesn't see how this is problematic. Well, that goes to show you what his mental state is. Because what it shows is that he doesn't even recognize, it doesn't even register in his mind that it's a form of sexual deviancy. It's sexually exploitive of these Black women. The fact that he's even live streaming this shit for everyone to watch it while he's doing this, that to me, that's all anyone would need to know. He doesn't care about you, Black women. You're a resource to him. And narcissists, they look at people as resources. You're a financial resource and you're a sexual resource, nothing more. Glad no one was forced to sit next to him. Yeah. Can you imagine this perv sitting on a long flight next to this perv, if you're a woman in particular? See, if I was sitting next to someone who was doing some shit like that, I would have pushed that button. First, I would have told them I would have pushed the button first, because then I'm not trying to go to jail right away. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been to jail, ain't never been arrested. I'm trying to stay, I'm trying to keep that streak alive. But I would push that button to get someone to come up there and have security called to get this handled so that he would stop. But if nothing came out and he kept doing it, I would have said something. But the fact that he's doing it in the first place is a problem. But then for him to live stream it, that just goes to show you how far out there Umar is. Thanks for the super chats. CTG 2816 says, if his kids end up highly successful or famous, he'll act like it was because of him. Yeah, just like his daddy. You notice that Jamal Johnson doesn't talk about his other kids. And he got a gang of them. Then he got 9 or 10. I thought I had a gang of kids, but he got a gang of them. You don't hear him talking about them. He was clout chasing on Umar. That's what he was doing. I mean, that's real talk. Again, I'm not here to defend Umar. I'm just saying that his daddy, part of the reason why his daddy started to criticize Umar, because he knew that Umar was getting a whole bunch of attention. But if Umar wasn't getting all that attention, would Jamal have been online talking about him? No. Now, some of the criticism that Jamal offered to dealing with Umar was legitimate. But the other thing is that as his father, he shouldn't have had his ass online anyway. That's not how you handle shit. But it also goes to show you that he didn't have a functional relationship with Umar. But that goes back to childhood. See, if you had a functional relationship with your son, then you handle that shit offline. You don't go online to do it, but he was clout chasing. And then when Umar Johnson's father started, and I'm not defending Umar, when Umar Johnson's father started to come at Jamal, he started acting like, I can't believe you guys. And, well, you shouldn't have got up there in the first place. See, the other thing is that men understand that if you're absent on the front end, don't think that you can pop back up at any given time, and then on the back end, you're going to criticize your son or daughter or give them direction as if you've been there from the beginning. It just doesn't work that way. See, I'm not defending Umar. I'm just making a point here that Umar wasn't famous and Umar he's a celebrity. He's a celebrity, not on the level of like a rapper, or he's an Instagram celebrity. He's a social media celebrity. I'll say it that way. All right. But if he wasn't that, Jamal Johnson would have never come out to speak about him or even claim him like he's doing. See, he would, but see, Umar's the same way. If one of his daughters ends up becoming someone successful they're in the public eye, Umar, yeah, that's my daughter. But you see, he don't say shit about him these days, and hasn't for decades, because he don't got no stories to tell. But on the back end, he may do that. See, these types of people, you guys got to be very careful about. These deadbeats. A child the child reaches a certain height, and then they want to claim it as if it's all because of them. And they don't even have a functional relationship with these children. Like Jamal didn't have a functional relationship with Umar, and Umar didn't have a functional. He still don't have a functional relationship with his daughter. And Jamal still ain't got no functional relationship with Umar, but Umar don't have a functional relationship with his daughters. And maybe that's for the best. Look at how Umar behaves. He got that. Think about this: supervised visitations. Look how Umar behaves. Look at what he's doing, and live streaming it. Now I don't know if we should go here, but we're gonna go here. This goes to show you how perverted Umar is, and to what lengths he will go for this perversion. This was in 2015, and they were in a slave dungeon in Africa. And let me get this timestamp. Here we go, right here.
Houses known as stone houses, stay in European names. The Here, the Souza, Viala, Vroom, Van Dyke, Van der Boy, Smith, Ferguson, Jackson, Youngson, Blackson, and all the Simpsons. You said Mark Simpson?
All the Simpsons memes. Oh, I like it, Sam.
See this? Now watch this. See this perv? He's in a slave dungeon doing this shit.
Cannonball, 8 of such were here. They used to punish the women.
Let me point something else out too, because she feels uncomfortable. He makes her uncomfortable because she recognizes at some point that he's filming her. Watch this.
Simpson.
All the Simpsons memes. Oh, I like it, Sam.
See how he has a picture, but he was doing the same thing. He would put the camera on the little girl's breast. Watch this.
You said Mark Simpson?
All the Simpsons memes. Oh, I like it, Sam.
Now watch this. See how she looks at him right there. This is, man, I'm telling you. Yeah, no, yeah, he's not recording the tour, but that's the same thing he was doing with these little girls. He's not even focused on the tour guide in these videos with the little girls. But you see how she sees him? Now watch how uncomfortable, because she starts folding her arms. And if you know body language, when women start doing like this, or men will do this too, but in this scenario, watch this.
A cannonball, 8 of such were here. They used to punish the women who refuse or resisted.
Damn, the fact that he does this inside of a slave dungeon. One more time. He did the same thing to these little girls too, but watch this. One more time.
You said Mark Simpson?
Yeah, he's still on her.
Simpsons memes. Oh, I like it, Sam.
A cannonball, 8 of such were here.
You see the tour guide, they're facing the tour guide, but what is Umar doing? Yeah, did you guys see that? Yeah, but it was also security, Dominique. You know, she feels more secure, and it's almost like she's trying to get behind him because she knows that, or at least on the side of him, because she knows that Umar is filming her, and he's focused on her buttocks. And this is inside of a slave dungeon. And they go through this slave dungeon. I've done the research. See, that's one thing Umar Johnson found. You can't touch me on the research. But they go through these, and there's a couple of these videos out there where he's enslaved on this, but they give these stories about how these black women were abused in these different ways and tortured and sexually exploited. And look what Umar does. But it's not uncommon. See, the tour guide is over there, but he has the camera on her. He doesn't but he did the same thing with these little girls. And there's times too when there was a woman tour guide, he would put the camera on the woman. Maybe I'll show that because she's an adult. I mean, it's still crazy. It's wrong all the way around. Maybe I should show that in the documentary. I just have to be careful with that. I have to be careful because people need to know the truth about Umar, but there are some things that are just so far out there that, in my opinion, I got a degree in cybersecurity. It shouldn't even be online. It shouldn't have been allowed to even be online. But it does provide insight into Umar's sexual debauchery. And people need to know that. You black women need to know that. Even you black men who support Umar, you need to know that. I'm talking about you black men who got some sense. Not you punk like the kufi wearing hotep punk up there trying to silence the black woman that was talking to Umar. I'm not talking about those type of men. I'm talking about you real men, you real fathers who have love and care for black women and love and care for your kids, and particularly your daughters. You need to know this. I can give you other examples video, but we're going to leave that at that. What I want to do now to close out this live stream is I want to read from shout out to True Black Anonymous. Black Anonymous, I don't know if you're still here, but I want to read this because I had mentioned this earlier today. And this is just the levels of immaturity with Umar. And it proves that he has not been in a long-standing relationship with the woman, because there was a time when he was beefing with Tariq Nasheed. He's beefed with them quite a few times, but during this particular time, it really got heightened, the beef. And Tariq Nasheed had a woman come on. I haven't been able to find the video. I don't think the video is online. If anyone happens to I'm still looking for that. I don't think it's online anymore. But if anyone happens to come across it, please let me know. You can email me at LenonHonor@yahoo.com. But Tariq brought this woman on, and they were talking about Umar and her interactions with Umar. And she talked about how Umar was trying to get at her, that's the term we used to, trying to get at her. In other words, he was trying to have sex with her, but she, something to the effect that she was on her menstrual cycle or something like that. But anyway, she said, I think I can't remember exactly. So let me take that back. The woman was talking about her interactions with Umar. Okay. And there was something about some sort of sexual interaction or possible sexual interaction. But the issue that I remember clearly was Umar, he did a response video to that. And he stated how he did not have any sexual relationship with that woman. And he stated that she was on her menstrual cycle and that it was nasty. Okay, it goes to show you that he has not had a long-standing relationship with a woman, and he doesn't have a respect for women, respect for women's body. It's a natural occurrence in women. It's something that men, you have to be supportive of. If you need to go get pads or whatever, you need to go and handle that. You're going to do that. You should be proud to do that. You have to be more sensitive in some cases during that time period. You got to maintain a level of sexual discipline during that time period. It's just something that you have to get used to. It's something that you mature into. You don't say, oh, that's nasty. But that's what Umar said. It just goes to show you he hasn't been in a long-standing relationship. It also shows you that he hasn't been an active participant in his daughter's lives either, because that's part of it too. Right? As fathers, you're supposed to be supportive. Whatever your daughter needs during that time of the month, and you do what you have to do. You don't. When I go get the pads, whatever, I strut. Shit, you should see how them women. And when women see you doing that, they be looking like, oh, okay. You should see how women respond, because they can tell. And I'm not faking the phone with nothing like that. They can tell, okay, he's being a real man, he's being a real father, he's being a real husband. Okay? Umar doesn't know anything about that. So let's go over here to True Black Anonymous. I'm going to read some of this, and shout out, thank you so much for sending this to me, because I was talking about this earlier, and then you sent me a link to your blog. This is January 6, 2018. Umar the Teflon Don, or just a hater of females. This is absolutely atrocious, just atrocious. Umar Johnson, the so-called Prince of Pan-Africanism, so-called King Kong consciousness, just felt the need to once again attack Tariq Nasheed. You see, Tariq Nasheed had a female from Indianapolis on a video, on a video discussing her experience with Umar Johnson. It seems she promoted an event in Indianapolis that featured Umar Johnson. Among other things, this young woman claimed that Umar Johnson tried to pressure her into sleeping with him. I was talking about this yesterday. She claims she didn't sleep with him, but she claims that she was there for hours in his hotel room. Okay. The business of consenting adults doesn't concern True Black Anonymous. However, I bring it up here to point out the character of Umar Johnson and somewhat the character of Tariq Nasheed. But if a pass is going to be given, True Black Anonymous would give Tariq a pass. We know who and what Tariq Nasheed is. He's a hustler and he's made no bones about it, as far as True Black Anonymous can tell. On the other hand, Umar Johnson, if he is the professional he claims to be, should have the class to either not respond or respond to it like a professional, but he didn't. He refers to himself as a Teflon Don, and he talks about a video that Goddess Nashida did with a female. Umar then refers to Nasheed as a beta male, which simply means he operates like a woman. It seems that Tariq Nasheed has beta male chicken tender type energy. I remember Umar said that. He's called chicken tender. Umar called Tariq a chicken. I said, what does that mean? Which is why Tariq is concerned with a man's, namely Umar Johnson's sex life. Those would be Umar's words, not mine. Anyway, okay, so let me know if you guys can hear this audio. Here we go.
Good morning, family. It's the Prince, live from Harrisburg. About to make my way from the hotel to Amtrak, get on this train and head on down to Philadelphia. I heard about Goddess Nasheeda's latest video that he did with a female. One thing you brothers need to understand, and I appreciate you guys letting me know, that he's a beta male. So everything he does is going to be done the way a woman would do it. Most men are not concerned about other men's sex lives.
Now understand that when he does this is actually a shot at women because you're less than, and black men do this. I've done it in the past too. I would call, this is when we were growing up as teenagers, I would call black men the B word. You a B, you know, that kind of thing. But the thing is that what Umar is saying here, that Tariq is like a woman, as if a woman is less than a man. Okay, to be clear about that.
But when you're dealing with beta male energy, when you're dealing with chicken tender type of energy, when there's a lot of estrogen in your consciousness,
what does that
you're
mean?
concerned about a man's sex life. And, you know, Goddess Nasheeda, Chicken Tenders Tariq, Mr. Estrogen, lipstick, makeup, that's what he's into. So please.
Okay, two things real quick. Number one, Umar, if you weren't sexually exploiting black women, it wouldn't be an issue. No one would care about your sex life. But the fact that you're sexually exploiting black women under the guise of helping black boys, that's something that deserves criticism and analysis. So that's number one. But the other thing is that, Umar, you're in everyone's business in terms of, especially black men's business, in terms of who they're having sex with. Hit the one. Snow bunny this, snow bunny that, snow bunny this, snow bunny that. You talk more about snow bunnies than you do about FDMG. So what are you talking about? Hit the one.
Please understand you're dealing with a female in man's clothing. My very first self-sponsored lecture took place on Super Bowl Sunday in Indianapolis, 2015, almost 3 years ago. I'm not sure why this particular thought saw the need to try to 3 years later, join up with an enemy of mine and try to assassinate my character.
Okay, by the way, the enemy is talking about Tariq Nasheed, but number two, a thought. You guys know what the thought is? That's that hoe over there. So he's calling her a hoe. He's talking about a black woman. Here we go.
She worked the event. She contacted me. She hounded me to work the event. I did not know her. She hounded me to spend time with me. She says I invited her back to my hotel. Well, the Super Bowl ends around what, 11 o'clock? Why would you come to a man's hotel after 11 o'clock? Truth of the matter is I never invited you. You bet.
See, isn't that what these SA type men say? And Umar does this. He'll say, well, you shouldn't dress like that. It's, you know, and trying to provoke the man. I have videos where the same thing. It's just nuts how this guy thinks. I even have a video where he says, how can a man take advantage of, he's talking sexually, take advantage of a woman if she's older than him? I have a video where he actually says that. In other words, if you can SA a woman, but if you SA a woman and she's older, there's no way, it doesn't make sense. If she's older than you, how can you do that if she's older than you? I have a video where he actually says that. But Umar has a history of defending the abusers of women, including the sexual abusers of women. P. Diddy, Bill Cosby, who's it? He's in jail now. You remind me of my R. Kelly. There was another young brother too. He's in jail now. I don't know. I think he gave him 25 years of life, something like that. But he was in the film with Holly Berry, and he Umar did interviews with this guy, defending him in some cases defending him, and he ended up getting going to jail for SA. He's going to be in jail for a long time. I can't remember what this young man's name is, but I have the receipts. Umar has a history of this type of behavior. Yeah. R. Kelly. I don't remember him defending Polite though. Defending him. I remember he made comments, but I don't remember him defending Polite. Yeah, that's the guy's name. Colin Walker or Kalen Walker. Yeah. Umar defended him.
Begged me to come. And when you came, you were on your menses, sister. You were on your menses, and I would not touch you, and you became upset. This is disgusting, and I cannot believe a sister would do this. The beauty of Nasheed's attacks is it shows that politically, there is nothing he can throw at the Teflon Don that will stick. There's nothing he can throw. I gave facts. He pays white people to make black conscious DVDs. 5 times white people got.
Okay, and let me correct myself. He didn't say that it was nasty. He said, let me go back because I want to correct myself on that. I always want to stick to the
menses, and I wouldn't clock. Truth of the matter is I never invited you. You begged me to come. And when you came, you were on your menses, sister.
Okay, how does he know that she was on her menses though? Yeah, I know, Swagonito. How do you know that, Umar? So again, let me take back what I said before, because I thought I remembered him saying that it was nasty that she was on her menses. That's not what he said, unless because this is an edited video. It may have been the full. I haven't seen the full video in a long time, so I could be correct. But let me just retract what I said earlier, because I'm always fair and I go with the receipts that I have in hand. I'm always fair with Umar. Now I defended Umar, but I'm always fair. But even still, let's set that issue aside. Umar, how do you know that she's on her menses? Now, this is going to be speculation here. Umar, you wanted to hit. She comes over and you wanted to hit. In other words, you want to have sex. I apologize for using that term. This is the childish shit. We talk like that. But you wanted to have sexual intercourse. She didn't want to. And that's what she told Tariq Nasheed, because I remember that. But, and again, this is me speculating. She probably told you that she was on her menses so that you would leave her alone. That's probably what happened. Speculation on my part. But that's probably what happened. But you got to turn it into something totally different than that. Like she's pursuing you. No, Umar, you have a history of this type of behavior.
You were on your menses, and I would not touch you, and you became upset. This is disgusting, and I cannot believe a sister would do this. The beauty of Nasheed's attacks is it shows that politically, there is nothing he can throw
don't do that.
at the Teflon Don that will.
Yeah, he called himself Teflon. Don't. Politest competition. Yeah. In the Black conscious community, there's a lot of competition. It's always, and thanks you to 225. It's always been that way. And Umar had a beef with Polite because Polite did a video. He took it down though shortly after that, but Polite did a video with his so-called daughter, which wasn't his daughter. It's just a pool. It's a pool of. It's sick. But his so-called daughter was in the video. Polite was in the video, and they were chastising Umar for sleeping with a stripper. And Umar got very upset about that. And that was the origins of at least one of their beefs. That was the origin of one of those beefs. But they were in competition. I mean, the whole Black conscious community space, it's very competitive. But it's interesting how so many of these individuals, they fall from grace, but they were always this way. Umar's always been perverted like this. See, he's always been, but it's just with Polite, he got to the point where he couldn't contain himself. And now he's in jail. Same thing with Nature Boy. He couldn't contain it, but now he's in jail. See? And it's not just a sexual exploitation. In the case of Jay Morrison, the financial exploitation of Black people. He hasn't gone to jail, but he definitely exploited Black people with the TREF. And then Umar's just another case. He's another example, right? Okay, thanks for the super chats. Okay, let's finish this up. I'll play the rest of this.
Stick. There's nothing he can throw. I gave facts. He pays white people to make Black conscious DVDs. 5 times white people got paid Black people's money to make conscious DVDs. Who benefits financially from Hidden Colors? White supremacies do. Who?
Okay, that's too. He's going too far, but he does have a point in terms of Tariq, but he's taking it too far. There's white supremacy, this and that. But see, what Umar should be talking about is who benefits from all of the millions of dollars that Umar's collected for these trap banners of women in Delaware, FDMG.
Benefits financially from Hidden Colors? White supremacy does. I told you guys that he steals all of my intellectual material from my interviews and regurgitates it out of his mouth. Those are the
you're right about that.
They are undisputed. He has no history of work in the Black community. He has never built a single thing for Black people. He is a hustler and a pimp.
Umar has not built one thing for Black people. Umar's a hustler, and he is, in this sense, the whole Big Papa thing, that's the pimp archetype.
I have exposed them. He's angry, and I will keep exposing.
Umar, funny boy. Okay, let me read the rest of this. Umar, and then we'll close out. Umar then says, I'm not sure why this particular thought, then he used that word again, saw the need to try to, 3 years later, so it's 3 years after she actually meets with Tariq and does a live stream. I don't have the video. To join up with an enemy of mine to try to assassinate my character. It seems there are a lot of people attempting to assassinate Umar Johnson's character. Umar continues to say, she worked the event. She contacted me. She hounded me to work the event. No, it's probably Umar hounded her. I did not know her. She hounded me to spend time. It doesn't even make any sense. Now the following is even more telling about the character of Umar Johnson. Listen to what he says about the young woman in question. Why would you come to a man's hotel at 11 o'clock? Truth of the matter is that I never invited you. You begged me to come. And when you came, you were on your menses. But how do you know that, sister? You were on your menses and I would not touch you and you became upset. What? Somebody please pick me up off the floor and tell me why that was very even necessary for Umar Johnson even saying, yeah, I know, it's crazy. Something must have happened. How else would he know that? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying earlier. Let me highlight this. Something must have happened. How else would he know that the young lady was on her menstrual cycle? Unless, of course, he's lying. Given Umar's track record, that's entirely possible. Yeah. Have mercy. Then he rattles on about Tariq Nasheed being a Teflon dot to whom nothing sticks. My God, somebody please make it stop. Yeah, Umar, he's projecting. He became upset. Okay. Yeah, Umar, he's something else. Now, you know, what I wanted to do, because I had a whole list of examples of the disrespect of Black women, but I'm going to table this. What we can do, let's do this tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's 2 videos on Umar's Instagram page that he uploaded. I don't think he can live stream right now because these are like I don't know if they call them on Instagram, but they're like shorts. They're not actual live streams. But what we'll do is we'll cover those 2 videos tomorrow, and then I want to pick up where we left off right here because I have just some examples in my notes going back to older Umar Johnson videos, and again my notes at this point is 142 pages long, and I'm just getting out of 2017. And I got to go to 2018 and 2019. By the time I get to 2019, though, I would have already seen most of the videos that appear at that point. But I'm still going to go through most of those videos. It's just going to take some time. So I'm saying the documentary won't be done until the middle of next year. I'm just getting all of my research in order. But what I've done is I've taken a couple of clips from different videos, and maybe let's do this. Let me give you an example from 2013, September 14th of 2013. Umar was in San Diego at the World Beat Center, and you can find this on YouTube. What I'll do is I'm just going to give you some examples of Umar's disrespect of Black women. That's just in this one video, And then tomorrow we'll watch those other 2 videos on Instagram, and then we'll pick back up with what we're talking about here with the disrespect of black women, and then we'll go down this list. It's not a comprehensive list because I got so many other examples, but this will be an excellent example for especially for you black women to see that he does not care about you, and he actually has a high level of disrespect for black women. I think it's sourced from his issues with his mother, the investment issues that continue to dominate his life to this day. So let's do this. It's only going to take about maybe 5 or 6, let's say 10 minutes, and then we'll close out this live stream. I want to thank everyone for tuning on. I also want to thank everyone who came back, because the first live stream, if you're watching this later, make sure there's a part 1 to this. I want to thank everyone who came back for part 2. I really do appreciate it. So every once in a while we have technical difficulties, and it is what it is. We keep pushing forward. Okay. Yeah. If you guys can hit the like button, I would appreciate it. I was going honey pot. What's up, Barry? Okay. So let's do this. I have it queued up already. Wait, do I have it queued up? Is that it? No, that's not it. Okay. Let me do this. Yeah, this again. Yeah. So give me like 30 seconds to pull up and this is the video we covered earlier, but give me 30 seconds to pull up this other video. I'll be right back.
Sending the black sisters, and the black sisters, our brothers need to know who we are, and be dating the black sisters in the community, or go and find them in every other race. He said, why is it that Dr. Umar has 3, please let me just say this, right? Why does he have 3 children with 3 baby mothers, and if they're all black queens, why has he not taken one of those queens and made them his absolute queen, and showed the black brothers that no matter what children you have, one of your mothers should be your permanent wife? That's what my son said to me.
That's powerful. I got a question. When did I get a 3rd baby mom and a 3rd baby?
I don't know.
When did I get a 3rd baby mom and a 3rd baby?
Can I just say, I did say to my son,
Stop putting babies on me. Look.
no, but listen,
Thanks, lady.
Dr. Umar, I did say to my son, when you are in the media, people will find a way to discredit you. So please don't listen to everything that you hear. But sometimes there's no smoke without fire. So I had to just say to him, I do not know about what you're talking about, and what he hears, he does not know it's a guaranteed fact neither.
Okay, well, let me give the guaranteed fact. Umar has at least 2 baby mamas. He's a sexual deviant. I provided receipts, and I have so many more. Okay, we can do a live stream, and literally we can go 12 hours to get through all of my notes, just specifically dealing with Umar Johnson's sexual debauchery and deviancy. And we wouldn't even have to look at him recording these little girls. These are teenagers, little young girls too. Not in high school. This guy. All right, here's the video from 2013. We're going to go to the 1 hour and 20 minute mark with 45 seconds. Yeah, my notes, boy, I don't be playing. Watch this. 1 hour, 21 minutes. Yeah, I meant to say 1 hour. 1 hour and 21 minutes, 45 seconds. This is right before Umar takes a break, and this is him running game on you black women. Watch this.
Okay? I can help as long as you got your eyebrows. If you ain't got no damn eyebrows, I don't work with you, because that don't mean you're going a little nuts up. Brothers, you be the sister, make sure she got her eyebrow. Make sure you wipe them and make sure they in. Because if she ain't got her eyebrow, she's going a little loony tune. Much love, y'all.
Let's give it up for Dr. Umar Johnson. Come on, y'all. That's right. Now, I'm going to tell you, you heard me say we got to church. Come on, so let's get up out of.
By the way, I know this guy. I don't think he's alive anymore, actually. I thought he passed away, but I know this guy. He was in remember I was talking about Maulana Karenga, and I think it was called the US organization. He was part of the US organization, and he wasn't affiliated with the community center that I worked at, but he would be around every once in a while. And I remember the word out on the street was that that was the word, allegedly. I have to say allegedly on that one, but I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, he was a Maulana Karenga wannabe. He would dress like Maulana Karenga. He would cut his hair like Maulana Karenga. He would wear the glasses, the same topic, and he would walk around. I remember this dude because this is in San Diego. See, I was in the Black conscious community back in the day too. And it started back in 1995. No, 1994. His name was Jehuti something like that. Jehuti or something like that.
Entertaining, informational, inspirational, motivational, and we know we got a war, we have war, and we certainly got this young scholar who's following the footsteps of his ancestors and taking it, not just reading books, so like he said, we can talk about it, but he's taking the lessons and legacy to another level, putting it into action, and we got to support that. So now what's going to happen, we're going to have about... For the ladies. I brought some of my unapologetically African t-shirts. Fellas.
He said for the ladies.
I'm sorry, I ain't got none for the fellas. Only got them for the ladies. It's the one I'm wearing on, but it's the lady cut. They for sale over there. It's Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, and my sexy ass. So make sure you get one before you leave.
This was in 2013. See, it's about the ladies. Church for the ladies with my sexy ass. What kind of man talks like that in the first place? What the fuck? What kind of man is that's y'all? Listen, that's y'all's principle. But let's keep going. He said the lady cut. If you don't stop, I need to play it again, but I don't want to. I think he fans himself with some sort of Lothario. He does. That's the Big Papa. Sigmund, well, the Big Papa, when he says Big Papa, that's the Lothario. That's the pimp archetype. And he dresses differently when he's in that mode. Okay, he talks differently all the way across the board. It's like multiple personality disorder. Each one of the names, King Kong consciousness, that's the belligerent. I'm going to break all that shit down because it's fascinating. I'm going to break all that down in the documentary too. Look at Bridget's like, this is all. God. But he wants to put that out there for the women. See, I have so many examples of this. It's crazy. It's so crazy with my Dusty. Yeah, it's pretty sassy. It's very, very sassy. It's kind of moist. I'm sorry. I'm just playing. I can't take it back. It's too late, but it's very moist. It's very, very moist. I'm just saying. I don't like talking like that, but it is. It's very, 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 very moist. Let me play that one more time. We're gonna go for another 5 minutes. All right, hold on.
But he's taking the lessons and legacy to another level.
Look at him, Umar. He's waiting to get the microphone. Rub it on his nose.
Putting it into action, and we got to support that. So now what's
Umar think he has the microphone right now. He want to talk. He wants to run that game so bad. Look at him. It's a water bottle.
all happen? We're gonna have about for the ladies. I brought some of my unapologetically African t-shirts. Fellas, I'm sorry, I ain't got none for the fellas. Only got them for the ladies. It's the one I'm wearing on, but it's the lady cut. They for sale over there. It's Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, and my sexy ass. So make sure you get one before you leave.
Umar, but this he trying to run game, but it's very moist. I'm just playing. I don't mean. I'm just joking. Now let me go to this other part where he disrespects you, black women, and he disrespects black women who are grown up in the hood. Watch this. 255.50. Here we go.
Some of y'all women need to go to midwifery school. You got midwifery schools. I think I got one in California. You can learn how to deliver babies, and you can live off that money. You know what some of them midwives are charging? $10,000 for a home birth.
What?
Now, of course, you want to help the community. You're not going to charge that. You might go $2,500. You might go $15,000. You know, for sisters who ain't got it like that. You might, but you can live off that money. And if you want to get rich, set up your birthing thing right next to the projects. You be delivering 50 babies a day. Boop, 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 boop.
You notice the people ain't laughing. This is San Diego. We don't play that shit. The thing is, San Diego is very multicultural. Very multicultural. It's been like that. It's right there on the border. Tijuana's right there. So if you guys ever watch this whole thing, you'll see that the audience wasn't really feeling Umar from the jump. But him talking like this, it feeds into racial stereotypes about black women too. It sure did get quiet.
But ladies, I want y'all to think about going to midwifery school. Y'all young sisters, you need to think about doing it. We need a midwife in every community, y'all. Because I don't think there's nothing healthy about a kid being born under those types of circumstances. You take away the whole spiritual context.
All right, let's go to 3, and I got 2 more for you from this video. 3, and then we'll close out. 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Here we go.
Everybody else, make them. Off. And if they get him, I need him ready. We got to keep it going. Keep it going so the progress never stops. And I'm getting sick and tired of y'all talking about we waiting for a new leader. When is he coming? You the only people who wait for leaders. Everybody else, make them. That's why we need the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School. I'm making leaders.
This in 2013.
I'm going to teach them that you got to be disciplined, young brother.
Look who's
if your
talking.
only weakness is women, they're going to send women after you. And they're going to be drop dead gorgeous. And you're going to have to say no.
See that smile? Look
Everybody
at it.
else, make them. That's why we need the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School. I'm making leaders.
Watch his expression. Watch this.
I'm going to teach them that you got to be disciplined, young brother. If your only weakness is women, they're going to send women after you. And they're going to be drop dead gorgeous. And you're going to have to say no.
See him? Look at him.
I need some water. It's hard, but you got to have this. They're going to send them. I had an agent. I spoke at Juneteenth in Alabama this year. I was the keynote speaker, FBI agent in the front row. The agents now, I know it's like 4 of y'all here, but I just can't pick you out in San Diego. There's always agents. Wherever I go, there's an agent. They could be black, they could be white. Could be elder, could be youth. But everywhere I speak, they got somebody watching. You say, why? Because not only, what's up? Not only am I dedicated, I got the degrees that they got. Say, who the hell let him through the system? He wasn't supposed to get no damn doctor. I snuck in the back door because I know how to play that game. I put on my 3-piece suit. I go to the interview. Yes, sir, I'm here to study clinical psychology. I mean, I love Sigmund Freud. I absolutely love him.
Hold on.
Throw me out. Bro, I just graduated last summer, July 2012.
Oh, real quick. This is where he talks about they didn't want to give him his degree. But we'll
They
skip
didn't
to
want to give me
that.
my degree. So this is what I had to tell him. I had to get gangster. I said, listen, I paid a lot of money to go through this program. I've been here 8 years. Y'all don't like me, and I don't like y'all. But if I leave here without my degree, I'm not leaving quietly. Y'all have a nice day.
See this?
Next thing you know, we had a meeting to talk about our differences, and my ass graduated. Because I swear, if I wasn't getting my paper, I was going to put them YouTube, ZooTube, every tube I could find, Urban League, NAACP, every black newspaper in the country. I was gonna blast their asses if I didn't get mine. And they knew it. So they said, you gotta let him out because he's more trouble than he's worth. Just give him. Go, Abdullah. Abdullah, go.
Yeah, that's very telling. One last thing I just want to play here. This is 3 hours and 45-minute mark. Here we go.
With her again. Asada Shakur was never convicted of shooting cops. She was only convicted of being an accomplice. She's the first black
Oh, I'm sorry.
to know where I sleep, where my mama sleep, where my daughter sleep. I don't know if I can ever be that comfortable with a group of people. I mean, when the time for it to go and get tough, I got a team. Don't get me wrong, I got a team in place.
No,
But I ain't trying to tap into that until it's absolutely necessary, because I like knowing that don't nobody know where the hell I'm at but me. I don't need them knowing where I'm going. Sister want to cook dinner for me, son, you know.
See that smile again? These are things that you guys can look for with Umar in terms of body language cues. Okay, one more time. We're going to be. I have so many examples of this. I remember one time he was doing this for sisters only, and he was talking about some sexual deviancy type of talk, and then he sticks his tongue out. I said, what in the world? But this is another thing. You guys can look for this with Umar in terms of his body language. One more time.
Trying to tap into that until it's absolutely necessary, because I like knowing that don't nobody know where the hell I'm at but me. I don't need them knowing where I'm going. Sister want to cook dinner for me, son, you know. They don't need to be all up in that. It's personal.
See? Yeah. The microwave TV closet dinners. I literally have so many other examples. I have another example of Umar saying that I'm cute as opposed to saying I'm sexy. Him saying women ain't that type of party, and that's where he wants them. It's reverse psychology where he wants them to send pictures to him, like, you know, nude pictures. But he'll say don't send those, or he'll say it ain't that type of party. But really, it's reverse psychology. We'll get into some more of these tomorrow. I have a whole list here for us to take a look at. One of the most fascinating things, and I'll end with this, is there's a video of Umar back in 2014, and he gives these four types of dysfunctional men, but he's really projecting. And the first one is the pimp. That's the man that wants to exploit women for their financial resources. Who's that sound like? The second dysfunctional type of man is the predator. That's the domestic abuser. He's possessive. He isolates the women. He isolates his mother. Okay, Umar is very possessive of his mother. Domestic abuser. He said things in the past where he's talking about, him being on supervised visitation with his daughter, and then he slips up. He says, people trying to say it's and then he stops himself. Okay, I'm not saying that he is. I'm just saying that this is something that he had to stop himself from saying. Okay. The predator, domestic abuser, possessive, isolates women, verbally abusive. Well, Umar's always been verbally abusive, in particular towards black women. There've been plenty of examples of that. Calling y'all thoughts and thoughties. He called the conscious stripper a maggot. Some of you guys may remember that. He has a good message about calling the police on. A good message about calling the police on the abuser. I don't know exactly. We'll see what that is tomorrow, because I can't remember what that was. Now, there's also the player. So there's a pimp, predator, and player. The player doesn't want your economics. He doesn't want money out of you. He wants your cookie. Okay, that's Umar. Okay, but Umar, he's actually the pimp and the player. He wants the money and he wants the cookie. He's also predatory and he's possessive. He isolates women. He isolates his mother in particular, but he also preys on single black mothers to crush your cookies and get money out of you. See, the player doesn't want your economics. He wants your cookie, meaning that's a euphemism for vagina. Then he starts ranting on cookie flavors: hot fudge, green pistachio, pina colada, warm salt, etc. He says hard batch cookies, and then he says soft batch cookies. Okay, this is all he's associating. When he says cookies, a euphemism for vagina. So he's saying hard vaginas and soft vaginas. But then this is really Umar objectifying you black women in this way. He does it all the time. But then also giving a color to your vagina: pina colada, hot fudge, green pistachio, warm salt, warm peanut butter, etc. But then also, I guess the texture. This guy is sick. Hard batch and soft batch. Okay, but he also associated with cookies because he likes treats and he's gluttonous in terms of food. So it's all wrapped up in together. It's really sick and twisted. But that's the player. And then there's the couch potato. That's a black man that was spoiled by his mother. He's projecting. His mother cooked, cleaned, did the dishes. Then you should do these things. He's telling you black women that he expects you black women to do these things because that's what his mama did for him. You work and he stays home. That's what Umar does. You black women who send him donations, he ain't doing nothing. His home, and because Umar doesn't have a legitimate home, not his own place, his home would be his mother's closet, literally. It's not hyperbole, or he's at a hotel motel. That's the couch potato. Then there's the impregnator. We've talked about that already today. The impregnator has a lot of kids and he doesn't take care of them. Well, that's Umar. This is one of the most fascinating videos that I've ever seen with Umar. And then he says, I got 2 daughters. I got to build FDMG. We'll get into that one tomorrow. So there's the pimp, the predator, the player, the couch potato, the impregnator. Those are all Umar. And then the last one is professional. He pretends that he is more accomplished than he really is. Well, that's Umar. I'm a school psychologist. I'm a school principal. I'm a vice principal. I'm a certified this. I'm a certified this. I'm the most requested scholar, et cetera, et cetera. It's a narcissism too. Right? He pretends that he is more accomplished than he really is, like he has more going for himself than he actually does. Umar doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have his own home. He begs for money all the time. But he gets up there for the world to see on the internet, and he pretends as if he's this great black leader, and he's so accomplished. And I've done this. I've saved all these boys. Umar, what you need to, let me stop. Okay. So that's the professional. He does. Let me just run these over again. There's the pimp, the predator, the player, the couch potato, the impregnator, and the professional. And that's Umar. He's basically talking about himself. We'll get into that one tomorrow. It's one of the most fascinating videos that I've ever seen dealing with Umar. Okay, so the plan tomorrow is we'll watch those 2 videos that Umar uploaded onto his Instagram page. I think it was yesterday. It might have been today. If he uploads anything else, we'll cover those tomorrow, and then we'll pick up with this, and we'll go through these that I have at least on this list. But I literally have scores and scores and scores of examples. It's over 100 examples, I'm sure, of Umar Johnson disrespecting you black women, disparaging you black women, attempting to sexually exploit you black women, and I have so many examples of it from my research. Okay. All right. I want to thank everyone for tuning on in. Okay. I want to apologize for the issues that we had earlier with the technical issues. Hopefully tomorrow we won't have that. We will have to wait and see. I want to thank our mods for handling business. Thank you so much. I also want to thank everyone inside the Good Correct Chat. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. You know, there was a poll that I had for the other one, but other live stream, I forgot to repost it, but that's okay. It is what it is. I also want to thank everyone who sent in super chats. If you send in Cash Apps or PayPal, thank you so much. I rarely promote this, but I do have a Cash App and a PayPal listed down below in the description of this video. Okay, everyone. I won't play an outro video. We're going to leave it at this, at where we're at here. But again, thank you so much for tuning on in. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, it'll be a shorter show. Hopefully we won't have any technical issues. That way we can get out of here like an hour and a half. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Okay. And actually here, I'll play this just to close out. What's up, information man? Hope everything's going well with you. Yeah, thank you to my other 100 bucks. Thank you, Carlita. I appreciate it. What's up, last call? Yeah. I'm happy I came back. But we came back, all right? The mod spot, yeah. Yeah, hot hamburger. Thanks for being here, my job. All right. You're so welcome. You are so welcome. What's up, KKC? Have a good night, bro.
FDMG!
That's Umar.
My name is Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm
Yolanda.
a certified school psychologist.
Hi, Dr. Umar. I'm so happy that you're my principal. I love FDMG. Can you tell me about the
That sounds like Tiff the Griff. It may not be, but it really does.
school?
We are going to make history.
You
We
welcome,
are
Lisa.
going
Thank
to
you so much
shock
for
the
tuning
world.
in.
We are going to transform the entire community, one black boy at a time. In this school, you don't have to worry about special education. In this school, you don't have to worry about ADHD diagnoses. In this school, you will never get a phone call from a teacher or an administrator telling you that your child needs dangerous psychiatric medication.
All right, we're going out right there. Y'all crazy in the chat room. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of you. Love y'all. Take care. Peace.